The next concept, reading elements, the reading values or elements into array from keyboard or from scanner class. Yeah, so from keyboard or from console using the scanner class. That's the next concept. So for this, normally, how do we read one integer and store it into some variable using the scanner class? Can you please tell me? Inside a main method. So first thing what we'll do, we'll create object for a scanner class.
Yeah.
Scanner, some
Import
object
scanner.
reference. Yeah, first we'll be adding that import statement also. With appropriate import statement,
Import
then scanner sc equals new scanner
new scanner
parenthesis
system.in.
system.in with first S capital is the syntax. Then we'll enter some meaningful message of says system.out.println, enter a number so that we'll get a proper console. Enter a number. Correct? Then followed by what's the method that we'll be using to read integer from scanner class?
sc.int next.
Yeah. So sc dot
Next int.
next in lowercase letters, I
Next
capital int with not take any inputs. Then just semicolon. Then how do we catch it? We catch into some variable, correct or not? Some variable of integer type. So that is a normal way of accessing the integer values into some variable from scanner class. Correct or not? Now my requirement is, so reading a values into array from keyboard, let me keep the requirement as read 10 values. 10 values from scanner class into an integer array. Into an integer array. Yeah. So for such type of things, we have to use the empty arrays concept. So to read the values into integer array, directly can we take a normal array? Like say for example, int one array, some array name ARR equals open curly brace, close curly brace, then semicolon. So then if we take like this, then can we add 10 elements into this array called ARR?
No, sir.
No, it's not possible. It is not possible. So because the next property I'm adding here, that arrays are, remember this array property, arrays are not dynamically growable. Dynamically growable nature is not there for arrays. What's the meaning? If we declare some array with some no elements or some 10 elements, and can we add 11th element to 12th element to that? No. Can we remove some elements from that? No, it is not possible. If that is possible, it's called as dynamically growable nature. But arrays doesn't have the such capacity. That's why it's not a, arrays are not a dynamically growable nature. So because of this, so this is a invalid way to declare one array to take some 10 elements. This is a invalid syntax. Then what is the next type of syntax that we can use for arrays? That is, so int array, some array name ARR only equals new int square brackets here. Previously it was curly braces till previous example. But for declaring empty arrays, we have to use a new keyword. New means what? Object. Object will be stored in heap memory. That's why arrays also will be stored in heap memory. And the same type, so integer, here also integer. Then here we have to use a square brackets. Inside the square brackets, what we have to mention? the size we have to mention. How many values we have to read? 10 values. That's why here you
10.
mention the size 10. Now, one empty array will be created. For this line of code, one empty array will be created with how many cells? 10 cells, because we are giving the
10.
size as 10. And what are the values? Initially, default values will be stored called 0 is the default value for integers. So this is the first point. Now we want zeros or we want some other values. We want programmer defined values into this array. We don't want default values called 0. Then for that, read the value from scanner class and assign into the array name and its index position in square brackets. So since we have to add it into this array by 10 times. So for that, writing 10 lines of code is not recommended. So I'll use a loop which generates the values from 0th index position. Then I should be less than or equals to 9 only, because 0 to 9 is 10. Correct or not? Otherwise, we can use here ar dot length minus 1 also. Here also we can write ar dot length minus 1. Both are correct only. Then give that index number inside this for loop. That's it. So this loop will run for 10 times. Every time, whenever we enter 10 numbers from the keyboard, each value will be given into the index position starting from 0 to 9. So this is the order in which the elements will be stored into this array according to whatever we give from the console. Then end of my main method. Understood the process? Understood the process?
Yes.
It's pretty simple.
Yes, sir.
So reading that value, we used to do it normally, but read that from the loop, that's all. And previously we used to
Sir,
assign
can you
to,
print entire array, sir?
yes, we can print entire array. We can print entire array.
Yes, sir. How to print that?
So if I tell you that, then unnecessary mistakes you'll make in all the programs. So at the last, I'll tell you. So it is nothing but something
Okay,
called
sir.
arrays dot to string is one method is there. How to use, I'm not saying. Okay. So based with this, we can print the array in array format only in the console. Normally, if you print this variable system.out.println arr, we will be getting the address. We will not get the values of the array. And to get values, we can use loops to print separately or individually. But to print the entire array as array, we have to use this arrays.toString method. Yeah. So this is the process
Yes.
to read the values into keyboard. And more importantly, indirectly, I am conveying you one thing, that empty arrays declaration syntax also. So in this, we are using one empty array declaration. So what is that empty array declaration? The syntax for declaring empty arrays. Empty array means array with no elements. So what is the syntax for this? The syntax for this is data type, then array square brackets, variable name of programmer choice, array name of programmer choice, then equals, then new, then same data type, then followed by square brackets, then size, then semicolon. So this is the syntax of declaring empty arrays in Java. So here we are using data type is int, then variable name is arr, new is keyword as it is, then the same data type, integer once again, then in square brackets, we are giving a size called 10. That is a process to declare empty arrays so that we can add elements into that. And how many? 10 only we can add. We cannot add 11. But if you're adding only 8 or 9, then default values will be taken as zeros for the remaining empty cells. Clear?
Array size is maximum 10 only, sir.
No, you can give anything. You can give anything. You can give 100 also.
You said now 9 only, 10 only you can do, 11 you don't take.
No, no,
In
no.
the example which is given,
I didn't say array size. So for example, I have declared my array size as 10. And here from console,
Okay, in this
when we are
sense.
entering some value, then I'll enter some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Up to 100 I'll enter. Will it consider all 100 elements? No, because array size is 10. Only 10 first 10 values will be taken. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes, sir.
here I'm giving the size is 10, but I'll give only 5 values. What will happen to the remaining? First 5 values will be updated in this array, and remaining 5 values will be remaining as 0 only. Am I clear?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So now we will use this empty array concept, and I will execute this second program from Eclipse with a method calling approach. Many things are there. Please, no confusions. We'll write step by steps so that it will become very, very easy. So first, here is my Eclipse. I'll close my previous program. Then into this, I'll create a new project. You know the process. I'm not following the traditional approach. I'm using shortcuts. Then here, I'll give my project name as array. Then inside this array, I'll create a new package. I'll name this package as com.grads. Then inside this, I'll create a new class, one class for execution with the main method. Then from the same package, I'll take another class for writing the method to perform sum of even numbers present at R index. Sum of array is my class, no main method here. Yeah. So out of these two, what is the process? So inside this process, inside this class, what's the first step? The process is declare a method to perform. What do you have to perform? Sum of even elements of array present at odd index.
odd.
Yeah. Write a method to return. Let me write return. So this is the method we have to declare. Then what's the syntax? Public is access modifier.
Public int.
Next return type is integer
Public
because
int.
we are finding the sum. Then method name get sum. I'm taking. Then parenthesis. What we have to give here?
Input
Value int.
Yeah, we have to give only one number.
Sir.
Or array of elements. Think.
One number.
If you give
array
one
name.
number, if you give one number, then which number we have to give? So array name we have to give. Which type of array? Int type of array. Some variable name, say ARR. Done? Understood or not? This is not any error. Return statement is not there. That's why error. Is it understood, guys? Previously,
Yes,
we
sir.
discussed that method can take only maximum 4 parameters. What if I require more than 4? Then go for arrays. And here is the syntax. In place of data type, we can go for array also. and in place of variable name, my variable name is ARR. That's the method's syntax I'm following. Yeah. So just to prove you that I'm giving a dummy return 0. Now we observe it's a valid syntax only. Correct or not? Now array name is there. Array name is there. And we know the size of the array. If you don't know also, length minus 1 is a thing which is enough for us to write the logic. What is supposed to do? Take one sum as a reference, int sum equal to 0 because we are finding the sum. The next for by, take a for loop which will run from 0, that is the starting index of every array by default, I equal to 0. Then I should be less than or equals array name ARR dot length is a property, then minus. Then increment the array elements, that is by using I++. Insert is what we're supposed to do. Sum equals sum. Okay. The condition you have to check now. What's the condition? If condition, the array name, square brackets, index number. That means array element. What's the element? Even or not. I have already written the same program, handwritten. Nothing new I'm doing. Then along with this, what's the next part? And
Logical and
index number should be odd. That's why I mod 2 double equals 0.
for odd index.
Not equal to 0 for odd index. Then inside this if condition, what is supposed to write? The sum variable has to have a result of sum plus array element if it is a
Array.
satisfying the above condition.
Correct.
Clear? Same logic I have written, nothing new I have written. Am I clear,
Done.
guys?
Return array.
Written?
Return array.
Written array or written sum?
Sum, sir.
ARR.
Written sum we have to written.
Sum, sir.
So this is the declaration of a method which is returning the sum of even numbers of array elements present at odd index. Am I clear or any doubts? It is exactly the same code. In place of printing, I am returning, that's all. Nothing new. Same array name, same array type, and array name. Here A, I have taken ARR. That's the only difference. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Now class name, sum of array, and method name, get sum. So to execute
Get
this,
sum.
I am back to main method. So what is that next process we have to use?
Import
The
of scanner class.
The step 1. So here also the next step. What is step 1 to be followed? Step 1 is use a scanner class. Use a scanner class to read
From keyboard.
10 elements from
keyboard.
console. That's the first step, correct? So after we read, what's the next step?
Save it
Assign.
in array.
Assign or assign the values to an array. Correct or not?
Yes, sir. Defining.
Then after that, what to do? Create object. For which class? Previous class. The other class, sum of array class. And call get some method. Get some method to see the result. So this is the process which you have to do it. Correct? So first step I am following. What to do? To read any elements from the scanner class, we have to create the scanner class object. Scanner, I use a control space, then import statement is added. Object reference equals new scanner
Scanner.
of system
System.in.
in. Then followed by a meaningful print statement I'm adding. so that console will pop up without any confusions. Programmer can enter correctly. Enter 10 numbers. Then followed by using the array, assign the values to one array. So for that, first we need one empty array, right? How to declare one empty array? Integer type of
Int.
array. Then some
Some
array name of
brackets.
program or choice. We can take anything. I'm taking A for array equals new int of the size is 10. Clear? Then to assign the values, so we need one for loop. That's why for loop for int I equals 0 to start. Then followed by I should be less than or equals the array name dot length property minus
A
1
dot
to keep it as a
length.
generic logic. Then I plus plus. This is the for loop. Inside this for loop, how to read integer from scanner class? sc dot next int is a method to read integer from scanner class. And we have to assign to whom? We have to assign to array. That's why array name and index positions called I. That's it. This loop will assign the values into array. Step 2 is over. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then what's the step 3? Step 3, to execute that, create the object and call the method. So which class you have to create the object? You can see on top here, sum of array class. That's a class name. Sum of array, or you can give any name to that class again. Class name, some object reference, sum or yes only, equals new control space, then semicolon. How to call the method? Object reference dot method name, and what this method is expecting? One integer array, right?
Integer array. Yes.
So that is, what is the name of the array? A I am passing.
A.
A I am passing. Then to see the output, we can catch and print, or directly we can call from the print function also. Correct or not? Int some result I am taking. So this method calling will give the return value of the sum into this result variable. Then print the result variable. Yeah. So all the previous learning is combined into one single requirement. No confusions, please. Clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So now let us run this program because both the files are saved. So I'll run this program here. So it is asking us to enter 10 numbers. So which 10 numbers? Wantedly I'll enter the same numbers because we are having the expert output called as 28 so that we can cross verify. So 11, 12, 14, 11 space 12 space 14 space,
12.
then
13.
13, 15, 16, then followed by 18, 19,
18, 19.
18, 19. So how many I'm reading?
9.
We have to read 10 numbers, but we are reading how many?
Yes.
8
10.
only we are reading. We are reading 8 only.
Last
Seven.
2 will be
Eight,
zeros.
seven.
Last 2 will be default. Zeros will be there.
Zeros.
So even to cross verify our output, I'm giving zeros wantedly. If you don't give also, still it's no problem. Okay. Then I press enter. So what should be our output?
28.
So now let us cross verify. We got or not? So this means we are reading these values from the keyboard. Those values will be assigned to this A variable, A array, and this A array is passed to our sum of array method as input. And the same A array values will come and store in ARR variable of again same integer type of array. And this process will happen on ARR array. Then return value will be given to this result variable. Then we are printing this result variable. That's the process which is happening. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Now if we re-execute, So we can give some numbers of our choice, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then now if we enter, what should be the output? Even elements present at odd indexes. What should be the output for this? 2 plus 4
0.
plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 should be the output, right?
18.
Yeah, 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus
28.
18, 12 plus 8, 20, 20 plus 10, 30 should be the output. So it is giving 30.
Okay, sir.
Index number starts from 0. No confusions with array elements and
Okay.
index positions.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Yeah, so practice this approach and we can expect this way in interviews. So they ask to take some random array of some 10 elements. So for that we have to use the scanner class approach to read it. So this is the code. If you want for your reference, the entire thing, step-by-step approach, you can take a screenshot of this or you can take a screenshot of this also. Anyhow, it is there in the recording.